G'day, it's Blue Boy, and today's video is 5 top tips to lighten your load that are free. Yes, free. Stay tuned. Well, thanks for sticking around. Let's get into number 1. And number 1, my first and best top tip for lightening your load, and this might be controversial, but please let me explain, is reduce your own body weight. Now, I used to be a lot heavier than I currently am. I used to be 95 kilos, 210 pounds. And I went hiking and I had a terrible time. I was hot, I was sweaty, I couldn't go very fast, my knees blew out. I had to use these puppies after a while to try and support my knees. And one time in Tasmania, my knees blew out so much, I was very dependent on my trekking poles to get me out safely. And lucky I had them, otherwise I would have been in trouble. So I reduced my body weight. I went down to 80 kilos, 175 pounds, and that was much better, but not as good as going down to 70 kilos, which is where I am now, 155 pounds. So overall, over the last couple of years, I've lost about 55 pounds. And I feel so much better, so much more nimble. I'm not a muscle, muscly person. I don't have a six-pack. I could get one if I wanted one, but it's too hard to maintain. But what I like about being lighter is being nimble and being fast. Not even being fast, just being agile and able to go fast if I want to. So the best way to lighten your load is to lighten your own body mass. Now, to reduce your own body weight, doesn't cost you anything maybe in money terms, but it's going to cost you in other terms. It's going to cost you effort and time and change of habit, but boy is it worth it. This is the biggest way you can lighten your load, is to reduce your own body weight. Now, most of us are overweight in our Western culture, so it's, generally most of us can lose some mass. Now, if you're a super duper underweight person, then of course this one doesn't apply to you, but for most of us it does. The big question then becomes, how do I do it? Okay, well, I've got 3 tips for us. First one is stop eating carbs. That includes bread, pasta, pizza, and to a lesser extent, potatoes and rice. Those 3 to 5 things are the things, I believe, that make us overweight in our Western culture. The paleo diet, the caveman diet, which eats predominantly the way cavemen used to eat, which is meats and fresh fruit and vegetables, is very successful and very healthy. Not, I believe, because they're eating meat, it's because they're not eating carbs, and that's one of their core things. They don't eat processed foods, they don't eat carbs. Carbs are really cheap sugars for your body, and when you eat them, your body, there's way too much energy, converts that to the sugars we need to run our bodies, and then the rest gets converted to fat. If you take those things out, the carbs out, and just eat other stuff, which I'm going to talk about in a second, then it's actually a very easy way to lose weight, and that's what I've found. So how do we do that? So what do we eat instead? Number 1, we eat our veggies and salad first. Fill up on those things. Secondly, after you've done that, fill up on healthy proteins, beans, lentils, quinoa, hummus, tabbouleh, things like that. And then the third tip is wait 10 minutes. Wait for your stomach to tell your brain that you're full. And then you will feel full after 10 minutes, and you'll feel fantastic, and you'll feel energized, and you won't feel sleepy. That's the way to reduce your body weight. That's the way to reduce your body mass. Good luck. Okay, tip number 2, carry only 1 set of clothes. Don't get into the trap of thinking you have to have a set of clothes for every day. It's not like normal life. Hiking, ultralight hiking, is not like everyday life where you change your underwear every day and you change your shirt and all that sort of stuff. When you're out in the bush, you have 1 set of clothes, the set you're wearing and the layers that you're not in that 1 set. So here's your 1 set of clothes that you'll need for all your hiking adventures. You walk in them, you sleep in them, you stink in them, you go home in them. So you got a lightweight, long sleeve synthetic shirt that wicks away moisture. This particular one is 3-dimensional seersucker material, uber wicking and quite warm. Second layer, wind layer, so like a wind shirt, blocks wind, stops you from losing heat from wind, but also traps heat, but also breathes and lets the water vapor out. Next layer, puffy layer, either down or synthetic. And then final layer is your rain shell. So that protects you from weather, wind, rain, and also traps heat, but breathes as well. So you only really need 4 layers minimum. However, you might want to add a second layer of insulation, like a synthetic, or have a synthetic only. Okay, so you could add that, and you might even want to have an undershirt like that, a synthetic undershirt. So that's an option. You may also want to have a dry layer of thermals to sleep in, or a very minimal, so like underpants and another dry t-shirt to sleep in, but that's sort of optional. You could have a neck gaiter, nice light one, I like this one. Gloves for hiking, protect your hands on your trekking poles or from falling over. Fleecy warm ones, windbreaker and rain. Sleeping socks and trekking socks. And then for bottoms, a nice lightweight pair of synthetic pants that breathe, but sort of also protect you from heat loss from blowing wind, but also dry really fast as well. So that's all you really need for your entire hiking clothing kit. Now, that one set of clothes I will often sleep in. I've tried carrying an extra set of dry thermals in my kit, and whilst it's a nice backup to have in case all your stuff is wet, I find that the hassle of changing into them, taking all my clothes off, getting cold and putting those on, and then hopping in my bag and then doing the reverse in the morning, taking them off, putting my hiking clothes on, it's just a hassle. I end up preferring to sleep in the clothes that I wore all day. Yes, it's smelly, yes, it's stinky, but hey, embrace the stink. You're out in nature. There's lots of wind. You're not going to really smell yourself. The animals aren't going to really care or smell you, and the trees don't care, so just go with one set of clothes. Wear them in the day, sleep in them in the night, clean them when you get home. One set of clothes. My third tip for lightening your load is multi-purpose everything. Everything you possibly can. Let me give you some examples. Good old traditional trekking pole. Use them as your tent poles. Below freestanding stuff, you're carrying the trekking poles anyway, or if you're a wise hiker, you're carrying trekking poles or using trekking poles, so use them to support your tent. Number 1, sleeping bag and puffy jacket. I've made a video. Use your sleeping bag as your puffy jacket. Man, you can save some weight. Yeah, it looks a bit kooky, but mate. Another example, raincoat. Here we go. Use your raincoat, poncho as your tent floor as well. So this is a Z-Packs poncho and bathtub floor. Another one is a dry bag. So your dry bag that I keep my quilt in, sleeping bag in, use that as a pillow. Turn it inside out, nice and fleece. Put your Z-seat in there and fold it over like this. Put that in there if you've got that. Or if you've got a frameless backpack like this, like the Z-Packs Nero, you fold it up and you put that in there. Use that multi-purpose. That's a Z-Packs one. This is a Hyperlight mountain gear one. So this one's a bit small. It's a dry bag, sort of, with a zipper. Turn it inside out, becomes a pillow. So you can keep your puffy in there if you're carrying a puffy or anything else. Cook pot. Here we go. Use your cook pot. This is one from Vargo, the bot. You can use it as a water bottle as well because it's got a sealed in lid. It's got a silicone rubber lid there. So you can throw out or not carry your water bottle and carry a litre of water in that instead. Another one is rain skirt. This is a Z-Packs rain skirt. Covers the shorts or your pants. Keeps rain off it. Nice and airy. You can also use this as the most amazing awning out the front of your tent. And I've made a video on that, using it as an awning on a duplex tent, Z-Packs duplex tent, or you could use it on an awning on the new Z-Packs Plexamid tent as well. I'm sure it'll work that way very well as well. Another one here. This is a dry bag from a brand here in Australia called MacPack. You can use it as light with your torch, your headlamp at the bottom. So a beautiful light for camp. So that's a little bit of multi-purposing as well. Okay, another good one is you could use your hoodie. This is a wicking t-shirt or hiking shirt, hoodie for sun protection. You can have it there for sun protection. You can have it with your hat for sun protection. But you could also, means this thing is great for wicking and wicking away sweat, but also protecting from the sun. But it's also at night time, it's actually quite warm. It actually reflects your body heat, I've found. So you don't necessarily need a beanie or even a neck gaiter, because this thing's acting as a lightweight version of them. And if you've got a couple of layers of this, like a windshirt's hood and then a raincoat hood, it's pretty much as good as having a nice, buff for your neck and beanie for your head. So, multi-purpose, everything. Dudes, do it. My fourth tip for you dudes to lighten your load is carry less food. Now, I've had lots of experience with this. I love food, just like you guys do. But I've almost every time I've gone hiking, I've come home with this. And you go, that's my food bag, great. Well, guess what I've come home with? A whole bunch of extra food. So that's like a day and a half probably of food. So I was carrying that needlessly, probably 2 pounds, maybe a kilo. So I didn't need to be carrying that. Yes, that might be a margin of error or a margin of safety, but you know what? Even if I ran out of food, it's not going to be the end of the world. I got heaps of fat reserves. I mean, I'm lighter now than I was, but even if I didn't have food for a meal or 2 meals, mate, I'll just go into ketosis and just start burning my fat reserves. That's what my body does. Yeah, it wouldn't be necessarily pleasant, but mate, I'd much rather that than carrying another extra kilo of food for the 4-day hike. So pack less food, take less muesli bars, just take the basic essentials, just to get you by, just to keep you safe. My fifth and final tip is carry less water. Now, you might think that I'm giving you bad advice, but if you come into your next water spot or you come into your next camp spot that's got water and you've got this amount of water, 1.5 litres, 1.5 kilos, 3 pounds, then you have failed. You have needlessly carried 1.5 kilos of water, 3 pounds of water. What a waste. Your goal should be to arrive at your next water spot or your camp spot, if it's got a water source, with your water bottles empty and the water that you had inside your body. Okay, so when you get to a water spot, camel up, which means drink, 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 guzzle, 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 guzzle. Camel up, drink as much as you can. It means you're carrying as much water as you possibly can in the best possible place that you can, which is inside you. Now you might be weeing for the next couple of Ks or couple of miles, but that's okay. And then only take how much water, or only carry how much water, might only be a litre, till you know where your next water spot is or where it should be. So my rule of thumb is about 1 litre for every 5 Ks. So some people can do 1 litre for every 5 miles or 8 Ks, but whatever it works for you. But make sure that you drink your water as you go, because the water's best in your body, not on your back. Even if you're weeing it out, at least you're staying hydrated. And you can judge your hydration level by the colour of your wee. If it's dark, yellow, then you're dehydrated. If it's light or clear, you're very well hydrated and it's all good. So that's how to lighten your load. Don't carry as much water. Carry less water by being smart. That's my 5 tips. Hope you like them. Blue Boy out.